A local towing company charges $5.25 per mile driven, plus a non-refundable base fee of $45. Write a formula for the function c of x, which represents the cost as a function of the number of miles driven. So if c is representing cost, then x is going to be the independent variable, which is the number of miles driven. As a reminder, a linear function in slope-intercept form is written as y is equal to mx plus b. But if we're trying to write a linear function based on a scenario, it's often easier to think about the slope as the average rate of change times that independent variable plus the initial value. In order to find the average rate of change, we can either create a table of values and then calculate the slope between 2 points, or we can look into the problem itself to try to find how quickly that output is changing, or what is the rate of change in the cost. In the problem, we see that the company charges $5.20 per mile. So that's going to be our average rate of change, $5.25 per mile that is driven. When we see the word per in the problem, that translates to multiply in the equation. So we'll say our cost is changing by $5.25 per, which means multiply, every mile. Now we're looking for the initial value, and that of course is the base fee, which was $45. So we start with $45, and then to that we're going to add $5.25 for every 1 mile that is driven. So let's change this multiply symbol to something that's a little bit more compact, and now we'll say that this is the cost function that we were asked for in part A. So now in part B, we're going to use this cost function to determine the quantity C evaluated at 20, which means that we copy down our cost function and plug in 20 for the x variable. So then we evaluate. $5.25 times 20 is equal to 105 plus the initial fee of $45. And then 105 plus 45 is 150. So the value of C at 20 is 150, and so in order to explain its meaning, let's remember that the independent variable x represents the number of miles, and the dependent variable is the corresponding cost. So we'll say the cost of driving 20 miles is $150. Now for part C, we're asked to determine the value of x that will cause the cost to be $123.75. So we'll start by writing down what our cost function was. And this time we're given the cost, so we're going to plug $123.75 in for the output variable. And we're asked to find the value of x that makes that happen, so we're going to be solving for x here. And we'll begin by subtracting 45 from both sides, which yields 78.75 on the left. And then we'll divide both sides by 525. Which cancels out altogether on the right. And let's switch sides to get our x on the left, and 78.75 divided by 525 is 15. This time we're asked to write our answer as an ordered pair and explain its meaning. So our ordered pair has an x coordinate of 15 and an output y value of 123.75. The cost of driving 15 miles is $123.75.